everyone, it's EnviiPetShop here, and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I am going to go over quality comparisons between the new LPS Main 5s, fake Main 5s, and old generation Main 5s. Since Basic Fun Littlest Pet Shop dropped the new Wave 3 with all the new Main 5s, all of us old LPS collectors were excited to see these back on shelves. So we thought. Now, I will admit, there are some good Main 5s that dropped, but they are still pretty questionable. The first one I wanted to go over were the short hairs, which I feel like have the most noticeable differences. Now, the old LPS, the short hairs were very distinct in their details, which made it very easy to know the difference between a real LPS and a fake LPS. One of the biggest things that comes to short hairs and knowing if they're fake or not were the cheeks and how defined they were. From the fake LPS to the real one, you could see that the cheeks on this side have more of like a shadow depth compared to this one, which is a little bit more flatter. Another defining factor are the eyes. The eyes of the old LPS are shiny, glossy, whereas the fake LPS, they are shiny, but they're not as glossy. There's also a depth difference. As you could tell, there's more depth in the eyes here than this one shows. From a distance, you can tell which one is real and which one is fake, just based off of the head shape. The fake LPS, for one, it also doesn't have a bobble, but it is like flat ridged here, whereas this one, it kind of comes up and out and is a lot more detailed. This LPS fake, it's not a bad fake. It's pretty solid, and probably at first glance you might be tricked into thinking that, hey, it might be real. You might need a double look. But it's until you have the real version of the pet when you know, oh yeah, that's fake. First of all, you can see how much more duller the fake LPS is compared to the real one, and you can tell how some of the eye colors, just the shading of the colors in general, they're a lot more flat and dull on the fake LPS in comparison to the real version of it. And then we have Gen 7 Wave 3 LPS short hairs. Now, the quality difference from these other two LPS, there's some noticeable differences in terms of coloring and printing. If you try to use the methods that I used to differentiate the first LPS with the fake one, you would notice that a lot of the fake aspects of the other short hair are a lot more similar to the LPS short hair that we just got compared to the actual short hairs. First of all, we don't have that cheek depth like we once did. The shape of the head is a little bit different. She's got a neck job making her a lot taller. To have these two side by side and to say that they're both real, it's kind of off-putting and confusing, especially if you're a new collector trying to see the differences between the fakes and the new ones, because between these three, real, fake, and the new real ones, these two seem more on par than with this one. Now, this one does have the glossy eyes, it has the bobble, but everything else about it just screams fake. The details, the depth, the printing, just all of this gives about the same amount of budget production cost probably. I like the new short hairs, I like the coloring. I just really hope they're using these as a first trial and attempt to do a little bit better, because to be honest, even the fake looks a little bit more real than the actual real one. The next ones I will be going over are the LPS Great Danes. Here we have a real, a fake, and the new Gen 7 new Great Danes. Right off the bat, you can see some of the differences and similarities that these three have while standing next to each other. One of the similarities that the real LPS Great Danes have are the glossy eyes as well. And this is something that will be consistent between real LPS and fake LPS. The real ones have very glossy eyes. I think they're even glossier now. This is the old fake variant. Something I noticed is that they're both same in height. I will say I think they're a little bit more detailed here. As you can see with the printings, it's a little off placed here. But in comparison next to each other, I mean, they're not too bad. Like, they pretty nailed the Great Danes, and I'm very excited to see the other variants of Great Danes they'll be making for us. Comparing the old real one to the new real ones, obviously their first factor is height. They are the same. They got the eye glossies. Let's see here. I mean, pretty much the shape of the bodies are the same. I feel like these might even be closer to like a fake. I'm not sure. Even, actually, I think these two compare a little bit more, but I'm not sure. And then, of course, we have the sides, and then back to the front. So these are the LPS Great Danes. I did not notice too much differences and obvious quality between the three of them. I think they're great, and I hope Littlest Pet Shop keeps making more of these fun Great Danes. Now, before we move on to the next one, I did want to compare Squishiness because I did forget to do that with the short hairs. But here's the squish of a fake. It is hard. I cannot do it. Here is a real little squish. Still a little tough. And then here are the brand new Great Danes. Very easily squishable. A lot of people say that they think it reduces its quality. I think Basic Fun obviously went with a route that's going to be the cheapest possible way of making LPS while also, you know, holding up the standards that we have for them. Personally, I don't think they've been planning to change much about the actual plastic quality. Like, the squishiness doesn't bother me. I know it's something a lot of people bring up and are like, the heads are so squishy, why are they squishy? I think it might play into a benefit of like little kids when they play with LPS and whatnot, because if you have like the old short hairs, you know, stuff like that, the older LPS, they don't have much air. So I'm assuming either the new ones make it easier for water to get out. Maybe I think they might make them to be a little bit more durable to scratches and just, you know, little flaws and marks on the LPS in general to make them easier to take off. I'm not 100% sure on that. I think time will tell us. But in the meantime, that is all for the Great Danes. Next, we're going to go over the LPS Collies, and from left to right, we have the old LPS generation Collie, the middle is a fake LPS Collie, and then the right are the brand new Gen 7 LPS Collies. In comparison of the real one, well, they're both real, but from the old one to the new one is that the quality in the old Collies are a lot better in terms of printing. Obviously, we have some print issues here. I hate how grainy the eyes look. Honestly, I think that would be the main factor. Everything else about it, I do like the coloring. The details seem to match pretty well. It's just mainly obvious in the face. I feel like the heads of the new LPS Collies are slightly smaller, but it's kind of hard to compare. Then from the fake and the real, for these both being pop-up, LPS. I think they'd be great to compare with each other. Even the fake one has a little bit more like depth and consistency, whereas the new ones, they're not too in-depth. They're a lot more smoother around the edges compared to this one. And as you could see, like, this is a really good 58 LPS fake. Like, I love this Sage. I wouldn't get a real one just because I love how clean the fake version is. And to have right next to the new LPS Collies, it's like, how is the fake doing better than the real? But I suppose on its own, it's not too bad. She just needs a little TLC. Now, those are the noticeable differences that I saw between the Collies. There weren't too many other than like shape and how the mold is a little bit more softer on the new one compared to the older ones. I would say the LPS fakes are a lot better of an option of a Collie to get than the new ones, in my opinion. The fake I have of this LPS, side by side you could see the noticeable differences in depth and whatnot in detail, but at a really quick glance you may be confusing this one with the real one, because I have accidentally done that before while filming Magnetism. I was using this character and I was like, where is her necklace? And I realized I had the fake one, so I thought that was pretty funny to see like how similar the fakes and the reals are side by side and how much more they compare with each other compared to the new Gen LPS. Now, those are the 3 similarities and differences I see between the Collies of LPS. Are there any like other similarities and differences that you see that I haven't brought up? Go ahead and comment down in the comment section. Now, if it were up to you to choose, would you rather get a fake LPS Collie or the new Gen LPS Collie? Now, unfortunately, I do not have the new Gen LPS Dachshund yet, but I do have a fake and I do have an old Gen one that is real. Now, side by side, I am terrified. The differences between the fake and the real LPS are so much more obvious when side to side when it comes to the Dachshunds. I mean, their eyes, the depth of the mouth, the head shape, like there are so many right off the bat. Even from the side, you could see the defined points of the old LPS compared to the fake, which also have no bobble. From behind, they look pretty similar. From the sides, same as well, not too much of a difference. One thing I will say is that I truly do hope that the new Gen LPS compare better to the old one rather than the fake, which I've seen with the Collies and even the Great Danes. The fakes are really good dupes. When it comes to the Dachshund, not so much, so I hope that when they drop the new Dachshund in the Salon set, that, you know, they look a lot more similar to the old Dachshund compared to the fakes. Lastly, to compare, we have the old Gen LPS and the new Gen LPS Cocker Spaniels in comparison. Unfortunately, I do not have a fake of the Cocker Spaniel. I thought I did. I do not. But I will say, in comparison, the Spaniels are very similar. The details on here seem a little bit more softer around the edges, like you can see on the mouth. Like you could really see the shadows on this one, whereas this one, not so much. But I will say, I do kind of like this new paint that they're using. Like, I like how glossy it is. I feel like it also kind of makes them look fake as well, but if I did have a fake, I don't think it would look nearly as good quality as this one here. Side by side, I think they compare very good together. The print on the new Spaniels, of course, they definitely need some work. But all in all, I think they compare very nicely, and I would imagine if we had the fake LPS Cocker Spaniel here, that I'm sure they would have their similarities as we seem consistent with all the other LPS, but I will say I'm pretty happy with the new Cocker Spaniel compared to the old Cocker Spaniel. I have no complaints. I think they're super cute, and in terms of quality, I think obviously the printing needs to just be a little bit more better, and we still got the same head squish. I mean, they're both pretty squishy. Obviously this one's more, but yeah. If you have a Cocker Spaniel fake LPS, comment down below what the differences you see between that one and the LPS I have here on screen. All in all, Basic Fun is definitely trying their best. I hope it's not their best, but they are giving a good shot at Main Fives. I really do hope that they improve the quality in terms of like the printing and hopefully mold as a whole. The short hairs definitely need some work, but all in all, I do think they kind of they're on par compared to the old LPS in comparison. You know, I think we all have a certain expectation on Basic Fun to be able to capture the nostalgia of the old LPS compared to the newer ones, but all in all, I mean, I'm just glad to see them back in stores. I'm glad to be able to buy my own. I just believe that I honestly don't think it's going to be like this for, you know, the whole time. I think, you know, they're obviously going to see our reactions. They're going to hear our comments about the new LPS, especially in comparison to the old. They probably hear it every single day. But I hope they actually take our concerns and put it into future LPS as like a little note to be like, okay, this is what we need to fix. And hopefully in future releases, they do that. They make those fixes. The main difference I want to see first is like this neck and head bobble is, it's so weird. It's very different from even like their own LPS. Like there's just no separation here, which is very weird, and I think obviously makes the neck look really long. Looks like she got a neck job. And that concludes this LPS video comparing the new LPS to the old LPS and the fakes. I really hope you guys liked this video and enjoyed seeing the differences and similarities between the LPS. Go ahead and comment down below your thoughts and opinions. And while you're there commenting, also feel free to hit that like button and click subscribe. In a crazy past 2 weeks, especially if you've been keeping up with me on Instagram. And for those who come from my Instagram, I do want to say Rio is doing great. He is currently sleeping right now, and his shaved tummy from surgery is finally growing back in. So it's so crazy that all this had happened, and I know a lot of you were concerned for me. I am doing mostly okay. It's not getting easier, but making LPS content makes me happy, and I hope it makes you guys happy as well. Littlest Pet Shop have always been a great diversion of attention compared to like real life. I get to just kind of, you know, enjoy myself, play with Littlest Pet Shop again, enjoy the bauble, enjoy the nostalgia that they once gave me, and even as a coping mechanism, I'm sure it helps a lot. Like when I was a kid playing with LPS to deal with stress, I'm doing it all over again. Nothing has changed in the past 15 years. But all in all, I'm gonna stop yapping now. Thanks for watching. Bye!